Now, Bangladesh saw one of the worst episodes of violence targeting media. At least 3 incidents of arson were reported in the capital, including fires.
The angry crowd descended on the English language dailies' office.
I mean, the attack was most devastating for somebody who spent his whole life in ethical journalism, in trying to establish a journalism of accountability, of authenticity. It was most devastating. It was about 10:15 to 10:30 they attacked Prothom Alo, and they came to ours about 11:30 to quarter to 12. They set fire, and we had our second edition team working in the newsroom. And when they realized it, they wanted to get out of the building, but they came down a few floors and they saw the fire. I mean, it was absolute panic. I mean, they were having problems breathing. I was talking to the newsroom over phone, and they were telling me, Mahfuz bhai, we may not meet again. They were ringing their parents, their wives, their friends, and saying maybe they will never meet again. Now, people who actually acted and set fire into the building, I don't think none of them are readers of the Daily Star. A, they don't read the Daily Star. B, I don't think they read English language newspaper. So what motivated them? I think it was well planned. They had their political motivation, financial motivation, and there was also an idea of demolishing the tradition of liberal journalism, of journalism that supports democracy, of multiplicity of views, of dissent in a very big way. I mean, our reporting, if it is flawed, somebody can say it. We can be pointed out, we can be criticized. But to burn us down, I think this is most unfortunate.
We have entered into an era of murder. মত প্রকাশ তো অনেক দূর হয়ে গেছে, এখন বেঁচে থাকার অধিকারের ব্যাপারে এসেছে।
Starting with the Hasina era, I think her rule of last 15 years unbroken is epitomized by one act which was called the Digital Security Act. This encapsulates Hasina government's total dominance of dissent. They had 20 provisions for punishment, 14 of which were non-bailable. So the whole idea was to create an environment of fear. Society goes into a total, a period of silence. Some cartoonists were punished. Some teachers who made some very innocuous Facebook posts were picked up in the middle of the night. I have had 83 cases launched against me by Hasina government. Mr. Motiur Rahman, the editor of Prothom Alo, had a murder case allegation against him. Our advertisement were stopped. Our revenue dropped by about 40 to 45% suddenly. None of my reporters were ever allowed to cover PM's events, and she personally attacked me on the floor of the parliament.
যেটা আমরা শুনেছি, মাহফুজ আনাম তারা আমেরিকায় চলে যায়, স্টেট ডিপার্টমেন্টে যায়, হিলারির কাছে ইমেল পাঠায়।
Definitely today we have far more free mainstream media, more investigative stories. Independent thinking is definitely much more prominent than before. But that overriding fear that if I am slightly deviating from the present popular narrative, that I might be attacked, also exists. To tell you frankly, we sometimes think very carefully that should I use this word or that word. Now this sort of thinking, which is really, I would say, anti-independent media culture, also now exists. Another very negative phenomena happened. Over the years, journalists became divided. So now we have very prominent pro-one-party journalists another party journalist. So imagine that when a public sees that a journalist who is supposed to tell me the truth actually belongs to a political party. So the credibility of that media outlet, the belief of the readers of a paper or the viewers of a television suffered greatly because of the political division within the journalist community. Many people get involved in social media and express their views. But again, as it has been the global experience, that all this freedom has also brought about a huge amount of fake news, of hate news, of unsubstantiated accusation, the use of social media to denigrate something, some other individual, some other institution is also a reality in Bangladesh. Some political parties have taken good advantage of it, and they have been well prepared. They created their own, if you like, social media team. So if you say anything against this particular political party, suddenly, hundreds of people will start abusing you. And if you say something nice, again, hundreds of people then start praising you. So the political use of the social media is very much in vogue now. It is well known to anybody who followed the social media that night that there was one influencer who said, Prothom Alo is down, now go to Daily Star and attack this.
যেই কাজ আপনি করেছেন, আপনি মাহফুজ আনাম, আপনি করেছেন, আমরা দেখাই দেবো এক এক করে কিভাবে হাসিনার শাসনের বৈধতা উৎপাদন করেছেন, দেখাই দিব। এবং হিটলার পতনের পরে এই সমস্ত পত্রিকা আক্রমণের শিকার হয় এবং জয় বাংলা করে দেওয়া হয়, সম্পাদক প্রোপাগান্ডাবিদকে বিচারের আওতায় আনা হয়, শাস্তি দেওয়া হয়, তাই করা হচ্ছে এখন।
Some people were trying to destroy us as an institution, and by the way, all the criticism that have been made against us have not been substantiated. Sometimes we were cited totally out of context. So it has been a very deliberate, very powerful, and I must say sadly effective way of denigrating two powerful mainstream media of Bangladesh. Elections are coming up. We haven't had a good election since 2014. So everybody, the whole country is excitedly waiting. People of Bangladesh believe very deeply in democracy. For them, election is one of the things they always look forward to. And one of the reasons that Hasina had become so unpopular was the fact that she distorted, she manipulated the last 3 elections. So when you have a nation who have been deprived of 3 elections, and now we are going to the 4th, the expectation from it, the wish to see that it really gives the people's will, all of this is working in the minds of the ordinary people, it is working in the minds of the common voters, and therefore the election becomes so important. Whoever get elected, they will not forget the fact about the fall of Hasina. And her fall was directly linked with her oppressive nature of the government, and also her government's treatment of the media. So our great hope is that this experience will definitely influence the future governments, and as such we may see a bright future for free media in the future.
Thank you for watching. Hit that like button and leave us a comment to let us know what you thought about anything we covered this week. And don't forget to follow us on social media. The links are in the description, and you can also subscribe to our newsletter for updates from the show.